Hi everyone, Vacha here from recordingstudio9.com and thanks for joining me again today. Today we are looking at SoundForge Audio Studio 12, the latest version, and I'm going to show you how we're going to use SoundForge Audio Studio 12 and built-in plugins to master a song. The song that I'm going to try to master as a demonstration is from Knowles and the song You and Me. I mixed it for him earlier this year, and he's quite happy for me to use his songs for demonstration purposes. Thank you so much, Simon, and I hope this will do a good justify for you for mastering your song. So, while I've got SoundForge Audio Studio running, I've got my track here, which I exported it as the song from Studio One as a WAV file. Just going to click and then drag it into SoundForge Audio Studio 12. And I can move this out of the way. Okay, so that's the song that I have mixed. As you can see, it's quite nice. There's plenty dynamics in the song, and as the song builds up, dynamics go up as well. So we're gonna master this song. We may be able to do some editing because at the beginning looks like there's a little bit of a gap. So I'm just gonna click and just gonna drag that so that we don't have too much gap in the beginning of the song. And the end as well, let's have a quick look. It's a nice fade, but I'll like to put a little bit more fade in there as well. So that's pretty much all of the editing that I want to do. Let's have a quick listen.
Sometimes it's there under your nose, and you take love for granted, but baby, you gotta know that you are the one for me.
So as you can hear, it's great recording, of course, and then a great mix by me, of course. And what we need to do is enhance a little bit more, and to see after about few months since I recorded, I mixed it back in January 2017 or February 2017, thereabouts. So it's been quite a few months. We are in August of 2017. Quite a lot of time has passed, so we are able now to listen to it back and see if we can improve it. We can look at the graph at the bottom. We can see it's got nice lows and highs are a bit low. I think that's quite good. I think we need to look at about the mid 1K range of the song energy. But other than that, we don't have any red peaks in our graphs as well. So the first thing I probably want to do is take care of the equalization. It's going to go to plugins, filter, and I'm going to use Waves Q8 stereo. And we're looking at the frequencies down here, about 150 Hz, 160 Hz. So just to choose the first band, or maybe around here. And then let's increase that. Whoops. Okay, so we've got that on, let's turn it on. And while we're having a listen, let's adjust the gain, and then we look at the Q as well and see how much effects we're going to have.
Sometimes it's there under your nose, and you take love for granted, but baby, you gotta know that you are the one for me. True love will conquer it all.
Okay, so next, that brought down a couple of dBs there. Not even that, 1.2 dB gain down to clean up some of that peaks there. And next we get a look at about 1.4K. I think that's where some of the issues could be. Let's bring that frequency up, thereabouts, and then have a listen and try to adjust it.
Sometimes it's there under your nose, and you take love for granted, but baby, you gotta know that you are the one for me. True love will conquer.
Yeah, I think that's about fixed it, because there's not much in there. I mean, with the mixing, I've done, quite well. We could have a look at the 5.5K, but I think they might introduce too much sibilance. I'm just going to leave it for the time being. So we're going to click OK and apply this setting. As you can see, it's very minor, half a dB at about 1.5K I've added, and I've taken 1.2 dB down at about 160 Hertz. Okay, not much change, but that's all we really need. In mastering, you really need to be very gentle, do very small changes, and do progressive changes. Remember that we can actually go back what we changed if we don't like it as well. So the next, let's have a look at Ozone 7 elements. Mastering, Ozone 7 elements. And there we go. It's very simple, straightforward graphical user interface. You are able to select certain different type of EQ and dynamic settings, which are presets by iZotope for Ozone 7. And then we are still able to adjust some of its dynamics for some of its presets, and the EQ amount for some of its presets as well. And then we can use the maximizer to bring down the threshold of the limiter and then increase some of its loudness level as well. We can also adjust the input level if it's too high, and that can be indicated at the top here. If we hit red, that means our input signal is too loud. We can bring it down so we're not distorting the input of the plugin. At the same time, we can also bring down the output if we think it's going above the 0 dB. That means it's distorting. We'll have a quick look some of the options in the options panel. And here you can, pretty self-explanatory of what you want in graphics, whether you want to enable the meters and tooltips. I highly recommend to have the tooltips on, especially when you're just starting to use it. It's really great because you put your mouse where you are not sure of something, and it will actually tell you all about that setting or option. It's really great. The I/O settings is quite simple, where you want to enable the meters and peak holds and true peaks and what you want to display. Social, well, social is social. And we click OK. So let's have a look some of the presets that are available for us. All-purpose mastering, adaptive dynamics. You can use that so that if the dynamics is changing throughout the song, which our song is, so we can try that one out. Or CD master, that means if you are trying to master to a CD, then you may be a good option to select that one. If it's muddy, you can brighten the overall mix. You can emphasize bass or the mid-range, or enhance the dynamics of it, enhance the stereo image, and so on. So you can increase the end, low ends, light cleanup. You can accentuate the low ends or the mid-range, or if you want it to be punchy and clear, remove muddiness. So all of these settings are designed by and put in by iZotope for Ozone 7, all work internally, so you don't really adjust any of the EQ settings and the dynamics. You have microcontrols at the bottom here that you can still adjust to a certain degree, but all of the algorithms are all behind it. So you don't really need to worry about how they work. Just select the one that you think will match the song, genre, or the style, and then give it a try. If you don't like it, you can always select the next one while it's playing, and you'll be able to hear the difference of what it's actually doing. You can try your heart out and find out which one is the best for you. So if you got a song which has nice vocal and you wanted richness, you can select that. Or if you want warm mid-range or transparent. And then you also have specific mastering if you wanted to do, fast dynamics at certain dB true peak and so on. So video streaming master, all of those will give you the right settings of the maximizer and input output, so you get the best level for whatever the song you're mastering for. Like if you're mastering for MP3, you select that one. That will give you the best option to master it for that level, including vinyl master. Or if you want to try genre-specific mastering, then you can select from disco to jazzy clean to new funk, smooth hip-hop, and vintage bossa and vocal pop and so on. And also, we have signature presets from Greg Calby, and you can select them as well. I'm not going to go through all of them, but just for this demonstration, I'm going to go to some of the all-purpose mastering and switch between some of them and choose one that I think it sounds the best and then be able to master it. First, let's try adaptive dynamics.
Sometimes it's there under your nose, and you take love for
Bypass.
granted, but baby, you gotta know that you are
Let's bring it back in.
for me. True love will conquer it all.
So you can tell the difference between the bypass one and adaptive dynamics applied. Obviously, it did get louder, and you can watch that the meters here as well. So the average RMS value will go up while the peaks stay under 0. So that's what this maximizer does. Another great option, which I shouldn't pass, is this ear. By clicking the ear on, when you bypass within Ozone 7, it actually makes sure that the level are matched between the original and adaptive dynamics. If you realize, when I bypassed through SoundForge Audio Studio bypass option, the level dropped and increased. Now that could cause a problem, especially if you're mastering and your ear reacts differently at different sound levels. What you want to do to make sure that the setting is what you like to be is to have both processed and unprocessed audio at the same level. And that's what this ear does. So that's another great option in there. So let's have a listen to, let's say, a CD master. Let's assume Simon wants to master this song to a CD. Let's see what we can do. I'm going to bypass.
Sometimes it's there under your nose, and you take love for granted, but baby, you gotta know that you are the one for me. True love will conquer it all. And you know what they say, when two hearts beat as one.
But you can hear the difference now. Without the ear, the level drops. That can confuse your ear when you're mastering.
We're working our way through life.
Turn the ear on.
Merely just surviving. in a happy home.
Okay, so as you can see how you can use Ozone 7 elements to change its dynamics, change its EQ, as well as its loudness level to get the result that you want. And of course, don't forget the ear. That way, when you're bypassing it to see the difference, you can actually hear without any volume variation. Now that sounds really great, nice and clean, and all the levels, all the bottom end is there, and all the clarity is there, and the top end is there, and it just sounds fantastic. If I'm happy, all I gotta do is click OK and let Ozone 7 elements apply its setting and let it do its job. Okay, now that it's finished, we can see how some of the levels have changed because we applied some loudness. We brought down the maximizer's threshold level, so that increased the volume and our hearing perspective levels as well. But we are still under 0, so we're not clipping or anything. And our RMS level is about at, on average, minus 15 dB, which is a really nice, comfortable spot to be for any song being mastered. Still has plenty dynamic range at the beginning or at the end as well. So let's have a listen to it now. I'm just going to listen to when the music builds up. I wouldn't worry too much about the bottom beat because that is the energy that we need for the song to really feel warm and nice. So it's not that it's distorting or anything. We need to look at the value of the level meter on our right hand side. Well, I hope this was helpful. Now you know how you can quickly master a song. Of course, you can put more detail into the EQ, and you can use your own compressors and dynamic range and limiters, as well as Ozone 7 elements to finalize your mix and master it. And once you've done, all you got to do is click the save button, and it's saved, and now you have a mastered song. I hope this was helpful. If it was, make sure you give me the thumbs up and do subscribe to my YouTube channel so that way you get to be notified as soon as I upload any new videos on my channel. Until next time, as always, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great time making music. Cheerio.